Ho, ho, ho. It is Merry Christmas Eve. I got my
internet.
internet back. They tried to stop us from doing the show, but we're going to do it anyway, dang it. The problem is I got to go spend time with my family here in a bit. So if we don't do the show now, Dwayne, I wasn't going to be able to do it. I was sweating it, but I said, you know what? Call in, guys. If you want to say something to your kids, whatever it is for Christmas, we're going to play it. And so that's what we're going to do. I even had some grandparents call, not just dads. There's a whole other side of the family that gets alienated. So, but again, if you're watching this, like, share, subscribe. If it's Christmas, you can hit that like button. You can hit that share button.
Don't be a Grinch. Don't be a Scrooge.
Don't be a Grinch. Don't be a baby mama terrorist.
Yeah. Or a cupcake. No cupcake.
Did I say it? A cupcake. Oh, dude. We would have had fun this morning. I can feel it. We would have
TLC come out with a version for guys. You know, no scrubs, no cupcakes. What do I know? I'm gonna be Left Eye.
Cupcake's a girl that don't get no child support from me.
You could be the next Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh man! All right, you know it was crazy, man. Maybe things sometimes happen for a reason. You know, I went on my personal page for anybody that's not following it there, and I gave a little bit of my own story.
Yeah.
It's important. I'm sure we could have done without a show today, but I remember back in Christmas 2005, guys, it's when I became a single father for the first time. I had a 1-year-old daughter. I was 20 years old. Had no idea what I was doing as a dad.
Yeah.
And my wife left for another man. And so it was just me and my daughter. And dude, I'm going to tell you, that was one of the hardest times in my life, Dwayne. I sat there that whole Christmas listening to my daughter who was laying on my chest crying, screaming for mom. And then I'm blindsided finding out there's another man in the picture. And it took everything I had just to stay in here, man.
Yeah.
But you know what?
19, 20 years old. You're a kid.
I was still a kid myself.
Yeah.
And she was the one that said she wanted a kid, right? I was still a kid. So I just thought I was the blue pill.
Yeah.
Your wish is my command. Happy wife, happy life. Here you go.
Yeah.
And then I find out later on, I'm like, man, this is serious business. You got a life that depends on you here.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, when all this stuff started hitting me, Dwayne, I didn't want to be on this earth, man. I understand how the people get here in their mind. And that was the first Christmas I had with my daughter. That's how I spent it. It sucks, man. 18 years ago now, I turned that pain into purpose. And I'm on here talking to you guys about it. Doesn't bother me anymore. But the reason we come on here and we speak, Dwayne, I think you're kind of past your situation too.
Yeah.
Still got one I'm fighting for. And I don't tell much of my story, but guys, we have got to empower and encourage. I was that man back then. My pride was killed. I could have never told you any of these things back then. Never. The pride was the only thing I had left, and I didn't have any of that, really. I was wearing masks. And there's a lot of these guys that are doing everything just to get through the day. And it really hits on the holidays.
Yeah. I mean, you shared little bits offline and now online for the larger public, but your headspace, 19, 20 years old, your spouse who you've committed to living your life with her, having a child, doing that. She just left you, and I don't know how much the details you went into on that. That may be for another day or never. I mean, everything's okay there. But what was your headspace like? I mean, you were laying there, baby on your chest, wailing. I know you said screaming. Knowing little babies and how much they miss their parents, how much she was missing mom, wanting her mom. I mean, where was your head at? What was the?
Oh, dude.
Or do you want to go there? I mean, this may be a little heavy.
I mean, all I can do is tell you the truth.
Well,
I wanted to die. The only thing that kept me on the face of the earth back then was I know I got to take care of her. There was no love for myself. There was no love for this earth. There was no love for the life that I was living. It felt like it was torture, man, and I couldn't understand anything. And I still, think back on some of those moments sometimes and like, why in the world did I go through this? Now, when I'm talking to these guys,
I think we're seeing it right now.
I get it, and then so like people just don't know your stories, right? I mean, that's why I'm sharing a little bit of it. JJM on YouTube said, "You're lucky you still had your daughter, dude." I got one I haven't seen. This is number 4 Christmas.
Yeah.
You understand?
That's the thing is
I'm on the other side of it too. I'm just talking about one case. And so people make assumptions,
right?
Because I haven't shared much of the story. They don't realize I got a good bit of skin in this game.
Yeah. You've got a lot of skin. I mean, people get this misconception because, that we get on here and we laugh or joke or do this, but a lot of times it's a mask. A lot of times it's just trying to do that. Sometimes putting the face on for the community saying, we're here. But, the other thing is that headspace that you're in when you're 20 years old. I'm just like, I couldn't imagine doing that at your age. I mean,
dude, I was the youngest. So my brother was 10 years older than me. My sister was 7 years older than me. They hadn't graduated. They had married, gotten a family. And I think it was like, I want to hurry up and do it too. Right?
Yeah.
I want some of that attention.
What you're supposed to do.
I felt like the grandkids was getting all the attention and I'm still small.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, I can do it too. I'm just going to hurry it up. And that's kind of what happened. And I rushed into a process. I'm not holding any ill feelings, towards anybody in the past. Like I said, it's 18 years ago. But being blindsided right before Christmas. Hey, there's another man in the picture. Right. Old man. I said old. 40. But then you're putting up with that. And then, I don't understand how a lot of these women that can do these things, they'll turn around and just like, get over it. Just get over it. That's not something you just get over, man.
Yeah. They want a real man, but they want you to get over. I mean, it's like, yeah, what do they want? Yeah. They, just get over it and get it back out there. No, I mean, we have feelings. We, trying to process that. But again, not to keep hammering on that, but 20 years old, you felt like, you didn't want to be on this earth anymore. You had the responsibility, you had that. What would you say to 20-year-old Eric, aside from probably a stray or clothing choices and haircut choices at 20?
I was a sharp dresser, rock and roll guy, but leave the alcohol alone, leave the substances alone. They are a fake crutch. Rip off the mask, empower other guys. There is other people that are going through this. You're not doing it alone. I thought I was alone, Dwayne, and because I was ashamed of, they had an affair or my family breaking up and everything, I kind of hid in a corner. And this is before social media, so I just tried to act like I'm okay. I'm okay because I didn't want anybody to talk to me about it. Really, is what was going on inside. I was broken, man. I was one of the most broken men there on the face of this earth. And dude, I forgave again. I got back into that relationship and it happened again. Happened 3 times before I said, Eric, you're good enough to not go through this anymore.
And looking back and I'm, being completely, you were blue pilled. I know it may sound to some people that don't understand that that's an insult. It's not really meant as an insult, but you were like, I want the family. I want this. I want these things. And you were taking her back, which is blue pill. I mean,
I made excuses for it. I made excuses for it. So like, and I'm not going to make excuses for me. I had my own issues, right? I did start going to substance abuse and trying to drown out the pain and stuff. But eventually I got caught up in that world. But that was just to help myself go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
It really was, man. And then I get back in it. And so what I would do is like, oh, she had a reason to do that. I was hanging out with my friends too much. Or
I worked too hard.
I was smoking weed. I shouldn't have been doing this. Yeah. I would make excuses all the time for myself to go through this pain. Yeah. When what it really was is I was a coward and didn't want to face it and rip the Band-Aid off and say, get the hell out of my life.
Right.
You are destroying my life.
Right. Yeah.
And I did it with fake substances. And I know I'm just going to give it to you straight, Dwayne. There's a lot of these guys, especially in the alienation community, that don't have any plans that we've been talking about for the past month, that are probably going to sit down, and that bottle of Captain Morgan or Jim Beam or whatever brand it is going to seem pretty tempting. And then you're going to put on your Aaron Lewis or your Shinedown or whatever music it is. Don't do that, guys. Right. Coming from a guy that's been there and done that, don't do that. There is no answers in that. There's not.
What? I mean, again, 20 years ago, looking back on it, what do you think you could have done differently? Perfect, clean slate. What could you, if you could get in a DeLorean, fly back, pop out there? What would you tell a 20-year-old Eric Carroll besides, don't get off the road? Like specifically, instead of getting into alcohol or other abusive stuff that's just going to, send you down a bad road, what could you have physically done differently to try to get yourself out of this quicker? Uh-oh, he looks like he's deep in thought. And I'm guessing his internet froze up again. All right. Well, while Eric is thinking about that and contemplating, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the comments here. I'm going to kind of spin back up to the top. D-Man50, thank you for the $5 donation. Merry Christmas to you. Let's see. We've got Julie. Julie is on here a lot, and we appreciate it. So we got Rob on. Clark Savage. Man, that's an awesome name. I'm going to change my name to Savage. That sounds awesome. So we got Dino. Oh, boy, I'm going to butcher your name. I am so sorry. Dino Del Senor. And I apologize up front. I stink at names. 30 in a row without my son. Haven't even spoken to him. I'm sorry. I wish there was something. This is why one of the reasons why we do it. I wish we could do more to help other people. But there's 30 in a row without my son. Haven't even spoken to him. God, this is a time to put to definitely leave a message. Write a journal. Getting your thoughts and feelings down on paper, writing, different things that, again, it's not going to make it easy. You're not going to write in your journal and come away and go, oh, I have a piece. Oh, you may, but I have a piece about this. It's going to take you one step further, get your mind in it and off of it at the same time. And you can get down all those things, and they will, one day read this. I know other folks that have done that, and they've shown or sent the diary to their kids, and it helps. If you've watched the Katie Haas story, that was one of her biggest, I won't say complaints, but one of her biggest things that she said is that she didn't feel that her father, fought hard enough, and all she had was, I think, a piece of paper with a child support document on it. That if maybe the father did have a journal or something that he could show her to show that, and that would help with the healing and turning those negative things into positives. Let's see, we got JJM thumbs up. Yeah, hey Rob. Let's see, trying to go the right way here. I've got Merry Christmas Eve. Mine was a silver bullet. I was homeless on day one. Yeah, JJ. 30 seconds of my story. I had a bought and paid for house. I grew up poor. I was wanting to tell a story that when Eric was talking about how his heater went out. To give you an idea of how poor I was growing up, the heat for our house was a kerosene heater and a potbelly stove. And I used to chop wood. That's how I got these guns as a kid. But that was an example of how poor we were. And I can go into more about why we were poor. But topic for a different day. But anyway, grew up, worked my butt off, was able to successfully provide a house, and a house that I bought and paid for stock free. I was kicked out of when the third attempt, my ex-wife's third attempt at divorcing me finally went through, and I wasn't going to back off from that. I wasn't going to stop it like I did the first two. When she realized that she wasn't going to win, she would then stop and then reassess. But the third time I went through, I was kicked out of my own house. There was no abuse, no nothing, and I still had to leave and homeless on day one essentially, and I got through it. And I think that's some of it. My story is going to be similar and different from a lot of people's. people have it far worse than I did. I've had it far better than others. But one of the reasons why Eric and myself, and then there are others that we've had on, the reason that we're here telling our story is that, we understand on certain levels. Sometimes we're, oh yeah, you're crazy, did that to you. Oh yeah. Well, and some of it I can't begin to even understand. I try to empathize the best I can, but that's the best, best I can do. It looks like Eric is back. Got the old rebooted router.
Nah, dude, something doesn't want us doing a show today.
Yeah.
We're back. We're back. And we're gonna do it. I don't have much time though. I think that might have been God's way of saying not yet.
Not yet.
We went 4 years without telling
just yet.
Without telling this, but that's just one little piece of it, guys. And we're gonna get it out. Good, bad, and the ugly. But and I appreciate the questions that you was asking, man. I mean, my thing is, I'm hoping there is not a 20-year-old me out there right now, asking himself the same questions, contemplating getting that bottle, and just drowning himself in his sorrows.
Yeah, or the drugs, or the pew pew machines, or the rope of many consequences. Yeah, we don't. We're here for you, and however we can, the community is here for you. Again, you have Dad Talk Today, the free support group that reach out and talk. It looks like Dwayne.
Here's
the
another
better,
resource.
The more handsomer Dwayne. I'm just going to throw that out there too. He is one striking. The chin. He's got the chin down.
No, you guys look like you could be brothers.
Maybe
dude.
I want to talk about my mom.
You're a video gamer. If you two did a show together, like with the episode, I'm naming it already, D&D.
That would be awesome. Well, I want to go Dungeons and Dragons, but yeah, D and Dwayne.
There you go.
But no, Dwayne Nail, you got to respect yourself. You got to find that respect, and you have to get healthy. You have to set boundaries. Not to get into all the personal stuff on this end, but we've got some stuffies happening in our household that, people are setting boundaries, and I have a smile on my face, but there's stuff behind it. You've got to set boundaries. You got to, go do the best that you can.
They're agreeing with me.
I do like brothers.
Told you. I think that would be a good one. Let's get into these voicemails before they try to crash my show again. Guys, if you're watching this, like, share, and subscribe. Have you subscribed on YouTube? How about Rumble? We also had to go to Instagram earlier today.
We did, did Instagram. We learned a valuable lesson. Instagram's only 1 hour.
We had a couple of the feminists show up throwing us.
We did.
Birdies. Yeah.
Bring it.
Good. If they're not showing up, you're doing something wrong, right?
Exactly.
All right, guys, let's get to these voicemails. Merry Christmas. 762-441-0281.
Hey, it's Dad here calling in to wish Josie, Olivia, and Tommy a Merry Christmas on behalf of their father and behalf of their grandparents and their father's family. It's a sad event that we have to work with Dad Talk today to wish you a Merry Christmas, but for you, Tommy, as a future father, we're going to work with Dad Talk today and many other fathers to ensure you someday never have to wish your children a Merry Christmas through any type of father support group. Merry Christmas, children. I love you.
Dude, I can't agree more.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Last thing we want is you having. That's it. Let's do it. Let's get in here together and let's end it, man.
Yeah. The happiest day you would have is the day that you officially shut down Dad Talk Today for good reasons. That, the fight's over. We want equality happen. Kids and parents will finally get to be together. Yeah. Now he nailed it.
Real quick. I got a story time coming.
Uh-oh. Story time.
Oh, so as I'm sure you guys have noticed, I've taken up hunting for the first time, right? And I'm still kind of new to it. I needed a deer hanger, and I got this box in the mail yesterday, and I opened it up, and I said, "What in the world is this?"
Yeah, is that from the feminist organizations, or what's going on here?
Might want me in the gallows. And I found this down at the bottom. This wasn't just a deer hanger. This belonged to John Mast, man. This was his. And oh, dude, it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And I did put the stuff out there, I mean, this is the way that we can document what's going on in this community. He just spoke to his kids, and I'll tell you, John's kids, you ever want that back at yours?
Yeah.
But he came on here to say happy Thanksgiving to his kids.
Yeah.
That's where we're at right here, guys. Nobody should be using Dad Talk today. Nobody should be watching it today. If there was a time not to do Dad Talk, it would be today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
But there is people that is going to need to use it. And so that's what the platform is for. We want to continue on with some of these voicemails. I honestly thought the voicemail line was just going to blow up like it did for child support. And we got a few, but not as many as I thought there would be. So let's keep this going on. 762-441-0281.
Hey, Brent, Aiden, Liam, I just want to tell you guys Merry Christmas. This is your father calling from you know where. Aiden, happy birthday. Brent, happy birthday. Liam, happy birthday. And you guys get in touch with me as soon as you can. Brent knows how. Love you all. Merry Christmas again.
Dude, Merry Christmas to your kids.
Yeah.
He said, dude, I feel so ashamed. There's been so much going on today. So much going on, but I missed a very critical thing. My dad.
Yeah.
Today's his birthday. He was born on Christmas Eve.
Wow.
Next month is 10 years he's been gone. Yeah. Sounds like his father's going through the same thing with his kids, man. There's something wanting me to cry this episode. I'm not doing it.
Well, if you do, you do. Men can do that.
We're allowed. It's okay.
We are allowed. No, you loved your dad. And I'd say in a lot of ways you're doing this to carry on his legacy.
Absolutely, man. It's there is not a day that goes by, even though he's been gone 10 years now, that I don't use some of that wisdom that was gave to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I ended up in this seat doing what I'm doing now, claiming I was never going to copy him. But if I don't feel like a preacher now, holy crap, man.
Oh, there were a couple times I think you channeled the old man.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't a fireball. The family was, though. They were the ones in the microphone, like slamming down and everything. So I did get that part.
Yeah.
It's in the family blood. But he was just more of a laid back. He was never much of a speaker, but he was the greatest pastor I ever knew because he cared about people. He helped them. Real life problems, divorce, these issues. My dad would have been all over it, man.
Right.
All over it. And it's sad to know that there's so many of these churches out there that's not helping in times like this. How many of them have support lines right now for these dads? How many of them are opening it up? Maybe it's a safe place that you need to come and exchange your kids. Maybe it's a safe place you need to just visit with your kids. And the church can't open for that.
No.
Don't get me started, man.
Yeah.
I'll go down it.
We've been yelling at our elected officials down here because, well, like in Georgia and Texas, it's cold as well. Our duly elected officials had elected not to open up the various convention centers and things like that to house the homeless and the cold and people that can't get out. But they sure beg for our votes. Do what?
But not Joel Osteen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good old Joel. Oh yeah. But
right.
I digress. Yeah, we're trying to keep this a PG-13ish show. It'll go full on.
Yeah. We want to get through your voicemail. So all right, you guys, just hold on. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6 more left to go. So let's keep it going. 762-441-0281.
Hello, this is Shane calling from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I wanted to wish a very Merry Christmas to my son, Caden. I love you, son, very much, and I miss you every day. And to your baby brother, Titan, a Merry Christmas, baby boy. I love you, and I miss you every day, and I will see you in good time.
Awesome.
It's good.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Guess let's just keep it rolling, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Bogdan, and I'm from Vancouver, Washington. I just want to say that this is the 5th Christmas in a row without children due to mother's court violations of my parenting time and alienation and gatekeeping. So just want to tell you guys, be strong, those who don't have kids this weekend, and just God bless you guys. Stay strong. We'll go through this together. But it is hard. I'm not gonna lie, it is hard to just sit there in an empty room with no kids 5th year in a row. So God bless you guys. Thank you for the show. And till next time. Bye-bye.
Bogdan, I want you to go back to that last part. It is hard. It's hard just sitting there in an empty room. Don't sit there in an empty room.
Yeah.
As hard as it's going to be to take that first step and say, I'm not going to put myself here. I tell you what, I wish I could do this for everybody. But if that's what you're saying, or you ain't got no money, dude, hit us up on Messenger. I'm going to buy you some at Denny's or something. Let's get you something to eat.
Yeah.
Get out of the house.
Yeah. I need to get out of the house.
Wherever
Change the
you
scenery.
can. Change the scenery. Go to a movie. The movies are open. Some, I don't know, everybody's area may be different. There's a lot of places that don't close down on Christmas
Right.
this time. Unfortunately, it is on a Sunday, so Chick-fil-A will be closed tomorrow. That is the only business, I tell you what, man. I don't think it hurts them by being closed.
Oh, no.
Today. No.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, no, it's Chick-fil-A. It was funny. I always tell the kids, I'm like, hey, yeah, well, let's go to Chick-fil-A, and they're like, but it's Sunday. I know.
Yeah.
I'm a cruel parent.
Oh,
We were talking about discipline and punishment. That's what I do. It's my brand of punishment.
yeah, dude.
Get in their heads, and yeah,
Well, that's what a dad does, right?
yeah. That's what that's how they're going to remember me. That jerk wouldn't take me to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday.
All right, guys, let's keep her rolling. 762-441-0281.
Hey, dads. I'm a dad. I'm one of the 17%. I won custody, and I got to watch my boy every 2 weeks go away for the weekend. And I can't call him a man. The person that she's with is a child molester who did 9 years in prison, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. It kills me to watch my son go there. And she actually has him for Christmas this year. And I got to pick him up on the 26th, and he's more than spoiled. I have a great job. I take care of my son. But he's at his mother, who was a child molester, who did 9 years in prison. How's that work? How's that work, guys? Message me, follow me. I don't care. I don't care about all that. I follow Dad Talk because I see what dads go through. And I'm a dad, damn it. We're dads. We are dads, all of us. God bless us. And Merry Christmas to the dads. Keep your kids safe. Love you guys. And love the Dad Talk.
Are you still there, dude?
Um,
Okay. Yeah, my internet started to mess up again right there at the end.
you know,
Dude.
ooh. You got
We're
nothing.
here to play your voicemails, but we got to touch on it. I mean, like, here's a case where a convicted child rapist that did 9 years, but yet somebody can come in and make a false allegation without any evidence. They can get this, but here is this guy saying, I don't want my kid with this convicted rapist. I think I'd be in his shoes.
Well, in Texas, I mean, the documents say that they can't be around. Well, I mean, outside of the child molestation piece, I mean, there should be documentation there that they can't be around children. But the documentation for the custody agreement, well, in Texas, has a provision in there about being around people who've been convicted of child molestation. So I don't. I mean, without digging into us and more into the documents of the story, I don't know how that's possible. But I see. I mean, he may have brought that out, and the judge didn't care because, again, they care about money, versus doing what's right. So, I mean, with the gentleman that called, I mean, you can hear the pain in the guy's voice. I mean, that's yeah. I don't know what to tell him to help him.
Well, that's the hardest part of doing this, man. And that's why I'm glad I got somebody else on here with me where we can bounce back and forth, because there's times that these things come in and
it's a little too
like,
much.
What do I say?
Yeah.
Oh, what do I say? But we got to continue to do it any way we can. I am sorry. I wish I had something we could do for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I'm making the assumption he's already called CPS, which, they have a duty to handle those scenarios, that situation, to remove the child from a person convicted of child molestation. So I don't understand why the CPS didn't do their job, the judge didn't do their job, the police. I mean, all the different organizations that are there to protect children. Why didn't they do their job? Of course, then I immediately think of Glenn Terry. He told the world she's going to kill my kid. No one believed him. They didn't care.
Robert, he's just trying to. He said, hard time right now. No shower, no toilet, no sink, no car, etc., etc. When does it end? Miss my son more than words can express. Let me tell you something, brother. I mean, like, I see that, and I'm telling you, that's how it goes. I don't know what it is about these issues. It's like, could we just get them one at a time? But it seems like for some reason we tend to get all these different things at once, and then it seems like it's just so hard to bear, and it puts in our mind like, when is this going to end? When am I just going to get past it? And that was exactly why I was sharing a little bit of my story with you earlier.
Right.
I was there, dude. 18 years ago, you'd never tell me that I'd still be sitting here. I honestly thought I was going to die young. I was doing everything I could just to get to the next day.
Right.
And that's how it happens. But dude, stick in there. Every one of you guys that are feeling pain right now, there is purpose behind it. That's what we sit here trying to rally the troops every single day. It's not just about tomorrow with Christmas or tonight with Christmas Eve. Every single day we need to be rallying our guys and telling them to turn that pain into purpose. Could you imagine if that purpose from that pain came together in mass numbers and people started using it right here on the battlefield, man?
I mean, that's what I did. Again, my story, pales in comparison to so many others. It's not even close, but taking what was happening and making that promise, no child, my children, no child, no good parent's going to go through what I went through. And that's why I got up in the morning. I mean, obviously I did it for my children, for the people that don't have their children due to a vindictive ex and all the other things that happen. Realize that, those kids are in this world and you need to make this world a better place for them. That's when you had kids, that's the promise that you made. I mean, you may not have said it out loud, but that's the promise that you made, is that your kids, they're it. And even if they're not with you and they're, again, vindictive exes and all the other things, you still have that promise to them, and you have to get up every morning and make the world better than you found it.
And if that's what keeps you hanging on, let that be the thing that keeps you
hanging on.
That's it, man. That was the only thing I had. That was the carrot dangling in front of me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had that.
Yeah. I mean, 9 years ago, it wasn't because of a supportive wife/ex-wife. It certainly was not that. It wasn't because I was told I was special or, I had a lot to offer. In my mind, I was told I was a piece of shit and I had no value, et cetera, et cetera. I've never amounted to anything. And my part of it is I'm going to prove someone wrong.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of it.
Dude, I mean, even those situations, like I would go through that, get blindsided, and then somehow it was my fault. You hadn't been folding your clothes, or you wasn't washing dishes, or there was always something, dude. Always.
Or when you call or when you text someone to invite them to Christmas, they tell you that you should have called and they refuse to show up. Sorry, that's a.
I got that.
You got that too? Okay.
Oh yeah, dude. Be one of those things that you try to contact and you never hear from them, and then so when you're silent on that one day, you're like, "We haven't heard from you."
Mm-hmm.
That's like bull. You know what I mean? Bull feathers, as Carnell would say.
As Carnell would say,
but
yes.
I am going to get in trouble here in a second. She's very patient with this. So I got to get through these voicemails, guys, because I do get my family. They're sitting out there in the car already waiting. So we're going to get through this. 762-441-0281.
Hi, guys. This is Tom McCarthy. I'm calling from New England. And these stories just keep happening and happening. I've been in this for 13 plus years now. And listening to these stories that keep happening again and again and again, this whole family court system just puts people in a spin zone, and they just do unthinkable things that they would never do. And we have to put an end to this. You don't need lawyers to get married. You shouldn't need them to get unmarried. It should be some sort of just paperwork. I think in the Netherlands, that's how it works. You just fill something out, you get divorced. There's no custody hearings. There's no financial hearings. You just work it out. And you got to get the government out of families. They don't belong there. Lawyers just make it a nightmare for everybody. So thank you, guys. And Jeff O'Ligny said to say hi, Eric, from New Hampshire. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
And McCarthy from New England. McCarthy.
He's going to the car.
He's going to the car. All right, got two more. Here we go. 762-441-0281.
Hey, Eric, this is Rob Ramos calling from San Diego, and I'm calling to wish my daughter, Penelope, happy holidays and Merry Christmas. I just want to let you know I love you, and I'm never, ever going to stop fighting for you. You're on my mind day and night, and I truly miss you. I love you very much, my love. And I will see you soon. I love you. Daddy's here for you.
That's a dad.
Get any better than that?
Right there.
Because again, any better than that was that's it, man. That's it.
Yep.
You got this. Merry Christmas, Penelope. Your dad's fighting. He is fighting. All right, we got one more here. I'm going to get to it. 762-441-0281. You guys can try leaving some voicemails. Tomorrow it'll be up in the air. If I end up having one of those where I got like a couple of hours or something in between, I might say, "Oh, you're right back." I'm not making any promises. We'll see. No problem. All right, last voicemail.
My name is Ann Tiller Haig. I live in the Panhandle of Florida. I've been estranged from my grandson, Jace, for 8+ years, and he's only 11. Jace, man, Tiller, man, this is Grandma. I love you very much. And our candle will continue to burn till you're back in Grandma's arms. I love you, grandson. Love you, Grandma. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Ooh, dude.
That grandma, boy, you don't mess with grandmas.
You don't mess with grandma.
They love them grandkids.
Can I just say thank you for calling me?
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, I even put something out there. I had somebody that had texted on it, was like, can grandparents call in? I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why is there not a group specifically for alienated grandparents? I have no idea. Because if you want to get some people that fight, I've seen some of the grandparents that you'd rather mess with dad than the grandparents, dude.
This is my grandmother, who, again, with my tattoo, the needle and thread, that was to honor her. She was about 80 pounds, not even 5 foot tall. And when she'd get up, tell me to do something, I did it. I mean, but I know she loved me.
Yeah.
And she would fight and die and do whatever she had to do to make sure I was taken care of. So Love you, Grandma.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I lived on the same property as my grandma. And so being out in the country, dude, like if I looked out my window and saw her walking down the driveway with her straw hat, I'd hide. Because she would have a bucket and a hoe and a shovel. And that meant she was coming to put my butt to work. And I've never seen anybody work like that.
Oh, yeah.
Hell no. She's on her way. I'm going to go get in the closet or something. But man, so close. You know, dude, I was so close to all of my grandparents. Loved them dearly. It's the closest thing to my parents. You know, I lost them before I lost my dad. But, it wasn't quite as bad as losing my dad. But it was a sting that was very darn close just because I was really close to my dad. But, man, grandparents. I mean, they're getting alienated too. That's one of our episodes next week, guys. I forget which one it is. And, let me do this because I do got to get out of here, but let's tell them what we've already got it planned.
Yeah.
Okay. Usually we don't have a plan and we're last minute saying what we're going to talk about.
I have no plans.
Doggone it. I don't even hold up. I got to go find the email. Do you remember the order?
Monday. Let me go back to that email. Monday.
Yeah, right here. Okay. It's actually Mondays. That's Monday's show.
Yep.
Fathers are not the only ones who get alienated. So if there is grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, we want to hear from you. Hit those voicemails. I want the voicemails on every single one of these. But that's Monday. Tuesday, the ripple effects of family court. We know what happens while people are in family court, but how does that set up the co-parenting afterwards? And how does that kind of make everything go in the wrong direction? Number 3, this is a big one. My wife left me and the kids for a new man. We see it a lot. And yep, I've had several people talking out about it. So we're going to try to dip into that one. I think I even told you guys about something similar myself. Number 4, how dads are attacked in culture, how they have attacked masculinity everywhere you turn, whether it's in entertainment, whether it's in school. Dude, I was looking at some old clips of stuff from Dad Talk. We did so many interviews in the last 3 years that, listen, guys, I didn't have time to sit there and absorb what I was talking about. I was conducting interviews. What's my next question? Get it out, try to make it with as much impact as possible, that I didn't even realize the content we was making, Dwayne. And as I was sitting there going through some of these interviews earlier, I was like, oh my freaking God, dude.
Yeah.
They're good.
So, well, the one, I don't know if we could even give a teaser on the one that you had sent me. That's one gold all the way through. But you probably weren't ready. You weren't in that headspace at that time to absorb it. I mean, if you ever read something at one point in your life, the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Real quick. Yeah, Santa Claus. You didn't. Or Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean, you probably didn't cry at the end of that movie if it happened. Well, I can't remember the time frames, but you probably didn't cry your brains out at the end of that movie. You do now because you were.
Oh yeah, dude.
It didn't hit you just like that. I mean, yeah, people need to go out there and go to Dad Talk today and hit those YouTubes all free and just pull some kernels out of there. There's a lot of good stuff.
Spike Cohen. That might have been my favorite politician. I went, and he wasn't a politician. He ran for vice president for the Libertarian Party, and they don't get enough respect. But I'll tell you, man, like I was going back through that interview and I was like, oh my God. Usually you find like 1 or 2 gold nuggets inside of an hour's interview. Every other minute, I was like, dude, he's talking about the politicians know about Title 4D, but they act stupid to it. And all these
what we've been saying.
And I was like, I don't even remember doing this interview.
Oh,
I don't. I was, like I said, in interview mode and going, I was like, we did get a lot of this stuff out that you guys have been wanting to hear, but it was just having to go back through and consume it. You know, my job for this movement up until this point has just been trying to get people to talk about it.
Yeah.
Get it out in the conversation, whether the CPACs or the turning points and all this. Dude, none of them was talking about family court or shared parenting when we showed up there. Now they are.
They are now.
And that was it, starting the conversation.
Yeah.
So you get in game mode and there's days, dude, you're sitting there and you talk to politicians for 14 hours. And you're just like, I want to get in bed. I want to eat and I don't want to look at a politician. And so you're just, like I said, game mode, but we got some clips coming out, guys. Do me a favor. When you see these little reels coming out on Facebook, be watching. They're good.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
they
yeah.
are good. And people can watch them in 30 to 60 seconds. So it's
Eric's
not
little
like you gotta watch-
brainchild.
Huh?
That was your brainchild, was those clips. I mean, this is all you. You're like
Well,
designing it and putting it all together. They're snappy.
They are, dude. They are.
Mhm.
I mean, the one from yesterday, though, what Carnell stops right in the middle. Take the red pill. You are being pimped. I do. Love it. And then number 5 on Friday, mom counter parents everything I do. We've had more and more people requesting that we have that conversation. Every time my dad tries to be a dad, she says, nah, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to listen to your dad. And she counter parents instead of co-parents with him. We know that's a big issue, right?
Yeah. Well, on that topic, and I'd love to hear from this segment of the community, and maybe another one, the stepmoms of the movement. But with the counter parenting, I'd love to hear the stepmother's position, because she's sitting back watching all this. She's watching it. I mean,
Oh,
that
that's
in
a
a bad
good
way.
one. That's
Yeah.
a good one. Maybe we should just reserve the phone lines that day for stepmoms.
Yeah, I mean, they don't get enough love. I mean, they love them. We need them in here. They don't get enough
dude.
love.
I hate to say it. They'll show you up, man. They'll get in there. They'll get on that voicemail and tell you what they really think.
Well, they bring a whole different perspective, because I mean, sometimes they were that way, and then now they've had a chance, because when they got what they got with the new husband, and then they're seeing it from that other perspective because they're being impacted. They bring a lot. I mean, they bring a lot to the table anyway, but this really a lot of good information.
Well, there was no disrespect by what I was saying right there, where they'll show you up, man. Listen, there is a lot of these stepmoms that when they come in, it is so toxic between her husband and the ex that they have to do the communication.
We
that's what see that happen. They have to do the communication, because they're like, they can't talk. They can't even exist in a room together. How do you expect them to co-parent a child? And then when you got the ones playing these tricks, so they get thrown into it, and they feel the stress off of it and the weight from the family courts. It's their money and their home and everything that's being messed with too. But I gotta go.
All right, one last thing, because it's
Yes.
Julie. I'm sorry. Do step grandmas count? Yes, y'all.
Yes.
The step parent, the grandmas and the moms, you all, yes. And in my family, we have that situation, and y'all are hugely important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we love y'all.
Help us get the word out. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Dwayne,
Christmas.
love you, man. We'll be back next week. I might be back tomorrow. We'll see.
We'll see. Let me know.
If not, I'll get some replays going. So hope you guys all have a great holiday. See you next time.
Bye.